Sleeve's doing something funky over here in the AI gen. So I'm just gonna make it up a little bit to how I think it would look nice. Yeah, so basically in this image, the two strong things that kind of tell the viewer what's going on is the silhouette. So you can make sure to use negatives as well when it can help like define silhouette. So here I just drew like this pie to help the person know that this is the hair, this is the edge of the bow, and like just adding this little piece of pie helps that part of the silhouette come out. And same with hair, if I add some more little pies, it kind of tells the person viewing that there is a bow behind her. I can't actually tell if it's a bow behind her. So I'm just gonna say there's a bow behind her. Although that is not part of the Terminator line, so I'll draw it in black. Yep. Okay. Let's see. I think we are just about there with step 2. Fill one half of the Terminator line with pure black using the paint bucket tool. So here, if you have drawn the artwork quite like exact, you can fill it in with the paint bucket tool. I might just paint it in because my lines are quite sketchy. And I have to make sense of what I've done here manually. Let's see. Grab the G pen since that's like a quite standard like filling in. I'm gonna make it like the opacity of the layer softer so I can see the lines while I'm doing this. So I think there will be a lot that I want to fix up. One time I got so used to using 2 fingers to zoom in and out on the iPad, someone handed me a piece of paper and they were like, look at this artwork. And I tried to zoom in on it and they caught me. They're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, traditional artists are a different breed. I was just saying, the guy I learned this from does this with the brush pen, with the boldness and audacity of not using a pencil line for the drawing of Terminator. He just does it with a brush pen. Now you're talking about confidence. That's false.
Talking about what, sorry?
Oh, confidence. Yeah, confidence. The guy I learned this from doesn't use pencil lines, he just does
light now because I think it defines her curve of her body quite well. Although you could fill it in if you want to be like more exact. It kind of accomplishes this mission better if it's not.
Airline is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I've never actually done this exercise before, so I am glad if I am accomplishing the mission.
Beautiful. It's amazing.
So another thing important when you're doing this, because you're only working with black and white, you want to make sure that the shape is strong and hints like exactly what is going on with the character. So this character has quite a pretty what do you call it? Like a pretty good pose in terms of like her legs are her legs are coming out and it's quite strong. Like her body's tilted and you just kind of know what's going on. As opposed to like if I just drew like some blob here. And like if you add like long hair and if you add the dress, you can't tell what this blob, what is it. But here, like even though it's lots of blobs, you can tell what is going on. And for example, you know that her dress, like there's some things that are coming off of it. So her dress is like this. There's a big bow. Like you can see that in the image, she has lots of things coming out of it, lots of frills. So you know that this bottom corner of the dress is quite complicated in terms of shape. So if it helps, you can hint at it and like add some of those complex parts into the silhouette here. Yeah, all these little things just kind of help the viewer know what's going on.
From the audience, question: how do you draw beautiful one straight stroke on your iPad without paper and film?
So I do have a matte, what is it? Like a matte screen protector on mine. So it does give it slightly paper. It's more to do with practice, yes, as Debbie said. Practicing like getting strokes to look how you want, moving your hand like steady enough to like start the stroke where you want it and end the stroke where you want it and have the curve where you want it. To be honest, don't be afraid. Like if a stroke isn't looking great, you can keep undoing it and try to get there eventually. I've seen quite a few artists like they'll draw one stroke like 10 times, but eventually you get better at it and you shouldn't need to undo so much. It also depends on your style. If you're someone who constantly needs these perfect strokes. And also you can have like not perfect long strokes as long as it's intentional, you know? You don't want to be intending to have long strokes but actually have it. But if having little strokes is an intentional stylistic choice, And that is so as long as it's not like a result of like skill gap. If it's something that you're not intending, then you should try to work on it. So something I personally do when I am filling in shapes like this, I won't fill it in perfectly. You can see little gaps in it. But this is like a step. When you turn off the guidelines, you can kind of see those gaps still there, and you kind of hint the shape of the thigh here. And hint other things. You don't have to. You can fill it in. I just like having this little line to help distinguish what's in front and what's behind. But yeah, this is just like another example of being intentional. Like maybe to someone else this would look like, oh, you missed a spot, but I'm using it to my advantage. Sorry, you were saying something?
Oh no, this is just a fun question from the audience for you. What is your favorite anime of all time that you come back to again and again?
There's a lot, but I do quite like... Oh, I like Evangelion.
Like, hardcore.
They just have a great aesthetic. They have a vibe going on. I wonder if that sort of show would be popular, like if it came out now, since it's so depressing. Maybe like the world is too depressing for that kind of media now.
I did hear that it was produced for less than $100,000 in its entirety.
What? The whole thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right? It was like a work of passion. But then again, yeah, it's hard to say about Evangelion today because today is after Evangelion, right?
Yeah. 100,000? Whoa. It's like 24 episodes. Was it? Or 16? I forgot.
I don't remember, but yeah, quite an amazing series. I've also heard that the director of Evangelion is not fun to work with, but that is from a different source, and I'm not sure if that's trustworthy.
Here, while I'm filling in the shape of the hair, I am hinting at the texture using the white space. Things are better when you don't feel like this. Sometimes, like, viewers' imagination can just make it look better than what it would look like if you actually drew it.
The Silent Hill is a horror game, and the fog is actually just the game back then couldn't render that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then certain re-releases removed the fog because it could render that far, and it just wasn't as atmospheric then.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen like sometimes, for example, an artist will draw like an improvement of an older piece, and then people will like the older one more. Reminds me of that. Because sometimes they've like improved technically, but as for the impact on the audience,
Yeah. There's a saying that goes, the work is the death mask of the concept. Because the more you render it, the more stiff it becomes. The concept at its beginning. We're gonna talk about that in episode 5 of the Niji Academy anime.
so just about finished with step 3. We can. Oh, actually, I'll add a little thing here. Tell her head has a thing on it. Step 4. Draw the small details on the light side with black. Or I guess I could cut into the black side. What should I do? Do you have any preference?
No preference, whatever your heart desires. Honestly, they're the same stuff. I just made it so that the students will be able to have steps. But you can do whatever you want.
Let's see. I guess since the example is drawing on small details on the light side with black, I'll go for the opposite. Can get rid of this for now. And I'll start using the eraser. Oh, I remember Hack. That was one of the first manga I ever read.
I remember this was free at the school library.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They only had volume 1, so I never knew what happened after volume 1. But
So much happened. And so weird to think about the fact that all of that was in the future then and is now in the past.
So since we're focusing on cutting into the shapes, so the detailed part is going to be in the darkness, I'm going to just erase some of these complicated shapes for now. And let's see, I'll start by adding some shapes where the ruffles are. I'm just going to erase out the parts of the ruffles that catch light. And then you should be able to tell, actually, that's a skirt with ruffles.
なしだぜ。しっかり立ってな。よし。
The eyes are kind of hard since they stylize. So I'm erasing the parts that tend to catch light the most, which is like either if the eye has glitter makeup or depending on where the light is coming from, they tend to catch a little bit of light inside the iris or pupil. I was gonna say, mix those two up.
やっぱり行くぞ。
ミュージックスタート。よいしょ。はあ、えいはっはあ、よっほっはっはあ。よっ
はっはっはっふっ。しっかり立ってな。チェコおとなしくしな。やっ
よっほっと引っかくぞ。よっほっほっせいほっうっよいしょ。高評価。みんなを守るからね。とはっえいほっ
けやたっ。
ちょっと失礼。
I totally missed drawing their hands. I'm gonna put some shadows here. Shape of the hand.
元気出してよ。
And I'm just looking at the shape of the
殴られたい
shadow
の。
of the hand as opposed to the outline.
渚のリン。手加減なしだぜ。さあ食いしばれよ。よっ。しっかり立ってな。
はあほっみんなを守るからね。とほっほっよっ
The hairs are not
渚のリン。
show
ナイ
where
スマッチよ。
what's going on.
行くぞ。はっはっやったやっ
But they wouldn't normally catch too much light.
はっせい。
ミュージックスタート。えい
But as you see, it helps people kind of recognize where the edge of the entire head is just by adding this
はっ
in.
はっ引っかくぞ。
よっはっやるかよっふんてやキャッ役払い
はあえいお荷物です。おーとよっはっえいほっえい
せい渚のリンやっ
よいしょ。
And to add a little bit to this foot here, it's quite important to define
やっ
where it is
おっ
so that people get a sense of entire
みんなを守るからね。
This is where the structure is.
はっと
Otherwise, her leg just fades into nothing.
えいほっ 星と親友無事今日の依頼
Since we're detailing the shadows, sometimes I will add in light where there would normally be like a dark line, like the liner, pretty much. But I would use white instead of black, even though normally there's no light there. It just kind of like helps you define the edges a bit more. But you don't want to go overboard with it, since ultimately for this study you want the focus to be on the overall result, overall outcome.
早く
But yeah, when you're going into
元気
the
出してよ
if you pick to go into the dark with light, then you just need to kind of apply the light source in more things.
えいとほっとよいしょ
わめきなさいよっ よっよっ
ミュージックふふはっはっふっとはっ
粉々だよ
はっとよっあっちゃってほっとほっはっよっやだ
それ 渚のリン
Yeah, since the light part is going to be the simplified shapes, you can try to break up the shaded part as much as you would like, so that it contrasts. And then the shaded part is where the detail is, and the light is where people will risk.
Like a proper anime girl.
And like parts where there's soft shading, like this edge of the skirt, I think there's like some sort of fabric here that is casting a soft shadow this way. Since we're only working with like the black and the white shapes, you can hint at the texture that's there, which gives shape to like the flower shapes on her skirt, and then let it slowly fade, and that will kind of give you the same result. But yeah, don't let the dark shapes invade like these areas too much, because you still want them to be quite simplified to contrast against the dark. But if you want to, you can also expand the territory of the dark. And so now it looks more like it's part of the darkness rather than the light. And the light is still like a relatively simple shape.
I've had a mentor once describe. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, he once described it to me as imagine butter sinking into an English muffin. And the places where the butter pools is where the dark is gonna be, and everything else is the English muffin. He called it Thomas's nooks and crannies.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I will go on to step 6 now. Turn the lines off and stylize the places where extra shading needs to be added to see the entire picture. So, I guess just to show you guys, this is what we started with. This is once we added in the blobs and then taking it away. You can still see the girl, which is good. Now we just need to make it more clear. So I would like her shoulder to stand out a bit more, because the shape isn't really showing us her shoulder. And I'd like to hint a bit more at the shape of this area. To show that it's like this round shape. And also show that there's some detail on the dress.
Yeah, that little nose light, it really gets the job done.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the tip you shared about.
Yeah?
Oh, I really like the tip you shared about the place that the light hits means that the faces are turned the same way. I think that's such a good way to put it.
真面目な姿勢で勉学に励み修練さえ積めば